We're coming up on 11:30 on a Thursday. You know what that means. It's time for Florida Weekly. We've got Eric Raditz with us, per usual. How's it going?
Great. How are you two?
We're
Good.
pretty good.
Special guest, Ashley Grant today.
Nice to finally meet you in person.
Nice to meet you in person as well.
Fan.
All right, well, so we are kicking things off. You're talking about what's in a name. What's going on with this one?
Well, we kind of got to the bottom of some of what comes behind some of the names that we hear throughout Florida. For example, I'll tell you the name Florida. That came from Ponce de Leon, who was here in the early 16th century, which actually means covered in flowers. It's a good thing he didn't name it on his first trip here, because the second trip he got shot in the butt by a poison arrow by the Calusas and died from it in Cuba. If he named the state after being shot, he might have named it La Flecha Avenavendía. I'm saying right, a poison arrow. Anyway, you hear
That's
the
a little bit more
It's
complicated.
more complicated. But we got the Caloosahatchee, Opelika, Weeki Wachee, Immokalee, Tallahassee, and many more. And this week we find out where some of these names came from.
Oh, I love that. And we also have a little bit of a destination guide for our coastal counties. So what can we find in there?
Well, you can find everything there is to do in Southwest Florida, from dining to entertainment to outdoors. This is like a magazine, and some of these magazines will cost you $4 or $5. This is like a freebie. So if you pick up Florida Week this week, you have the destination of Southwest Florida, all the attractions, places, and events. It's a keeper for you and every one of your friends who visits here, because it tells you exactly where to go to enjoy Southwest Florida as the prominent destination.
Well, if I'm seeing that picture, I'm definitely scheduling a flight to come, because that was beautiful.
Especially if it's
gorgeous.
if you're in the freezing cold up north.
Oh, I know. We're
It's
so
like half the
lucky
country.
here.
Right.
All right, you're talking about being in Zen. I know a lot of people try to make their apartments or their homes feel very Zen. What are you guys talking about this week?
Well, where do you find your Zen? Where do you get your peace and your solitude from? We found that throughout Florida, there's actually a bunch of places. So we take a look at places with great sunrises, sunsets, beaches, water settings, infinite horizons, underwater adventures, yoga spots, and more. Your peace and your Zen is something you can find all in your own, but you can also find it in great spots around Florida.
Absolutely. And speaking of spots around Florida, there's also a things to do guide in here.
Always have things to do. So if you're not sure what's to do in Southwest Florida, always pick up Florida Weekly. We have a full, intense calendar of things to do in and around town. We also have some top picks you see there. Singing in the Rain at the Broadway Palm Theater. The Righteous Brothers bring back the love and feeling to Barbara B. Mann. Morning After Grace at Florida Rep. Rooftop parties, arts, openings, fresh markets, and much, much more. Find us online, on stands, on your device, and right here on NBC2. You guys do a great job.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to see you. I'm
And
glad
with
you're doing
Florida
well.
Weekly, you guys always tell the community what's going on, interesting stuff, and there's always something to do in Southwest Florida.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next week, Eric.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.